Good afternoon, folks. Beautiful weather here in Florida today. It is absolutely gorgeous. What I'd like to talk about today is how to go ahead and have an effective advertising campaign at whatever budget that you have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the very lowest level and work to the very highest level. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to go ahead and maximize your results so that you can have a great rate of return on your investment. Now, before I get started, what you need to do is go back and get one of my videos talking about the lifetime value of your customer. Because once you know how much value your customers bring to you, each and every one that comes in that becomes a regular customer, you want to look at what is the lifetime value that they bring. So, just for an example, if someone comes in and they spend, let's say, $10 a month, $10 a week. Over 50 weeks, that's $500. Over the course of 10 years, that's $5,000. And that's for a person that is just barely coming in doing a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to find out, is that person worth $5,000 or are they worth $5? You also have to take a look at what is your profit margin. If they bring you $5,000 over the course of 10 years, and you have a profit margin of 10%, you had $500 of profit. What happens if they brought in $100 per week over the course of 10 years? That's $5,000 per year over the course of 10 years. That is 100 times 50, that's 5,000, that's $50,000 worth of value. So if you have a profit margin of 10%, that means that every time a person comes in, you just accrued $5,000 in profit. You want to get as many of those people as you possibly can. But until you know the lifetime value of your customers, until you know your cost, you can't determine what your advertising budget is. So everyone that says, oh, I can't afford to spend that, you're an idiot until you know those numbers. Once you know those numbers, then you can make a rational and intelligent decision. Until then, you're just guessing. Now, let's start out with the zero amount of money that you have to spend. If you have zero amount of money, probably you're not too busy and you have a lot of time. So in that case, what I would suggest is you advertise using social media. Use Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, Pinterest, Craigslist, Yahoo, LinkedIn, every way you possibly can to go ahead and get your message out. Now, when I say get your message out, it's all about showing other people the benefits that they will accrue by coming to your business. So if, for instance, you have let's say you have a furniture business. Why would someone drive past another furniture business to come to your shop? You always want to go ahead and give the people a benefit, make it easy for them to justify putting money in your pocket, because if you don't, and you're relying upon people to sort of stumble in, you're probably going to be out of business before too long. What happens if you can spend $100 a month? Well, the best way to maximize that is to utilize business cards. And on a business card, again, it comes down to what message are you sending to people. So on a typical business card, you have the name, you have the contact information, and about half of the page is taken up with a great big picture of your great big ugly mug. How does that help you? What does that benefit to the customer? So what I would rather have you do is, if you want to have a picture on there, fine. Just an itty-bitty little one, just enough so that people remember, oh yeah, that guy. You want to go ahead and have a headline. The headline should tell people what you do, how you benefit them. Your name, and then the tagline underneath that. This is where you go ahead and you amplify or expand on the headline. So the headline and the tagline tell people, here's why they should want to come to your shop. If you don't tell them that, guess what? They won't know why they should come to your shop. Now, if you only have your name, your contact information, and don't have any headlines or taglines, what is someone going to do? They're going to take a look at your card. If they do that much, whew, they're going to throw it away. But if you tell people how you can benefit them and do it in such an articulate way that they can go ahead and readily understand, ooh, I want to go there because they're doing this, that is when your business card becomes a great advertising piece. Next step, let's say that you pass out these business cards. You pass out these business cards and flyers and things to everybody you possibly can. Why? Because you want to put this into as many people's hands as possible. Don't just go to a public event and throw your cards up in the air. People step on them, they'll treat them as trash. But as you're talking to people, you should always have a handful of business cards in your business pocket. And as you're talking to people, I'm glad I went ahead and talked to you. Here is what I do. I think it could benefit you for all the obvious reasons. Take a look at this. Here's how we can help. When you use the phrase "for all the obvious reasons," what's someone going to think? Oh, they know a little bit about me. Now, if you do this in a nice way, people are going to say, wow, that person really cares. If you do it in a slightly nasty way, people are going to say, let's say that you have a Weight Watchers Club. I think you should come to this party for all the obvious reasons. They're going to think that you just called them fat. So you had to be very careful as to how you do this. So you want to show people that you care about solving their problem. I don't believe in having customers. I believe in having clients. A customer is somebody that you sell something to. A client is somebody under your protection. When you have a client and you tell them, I don't know if I can help, but I know how to find out, let's go ahead and take these steps in order to go ahead and help you get what you want, get what you need. Let's say that you're up to $200 a month in an advertising budget. Now you can go ahead and you can spend money not only in business cards, but also you have flyers, you have posters. You can go ahead and go to other businesses that are not competing with yours and ask them, do you mind if I put this up? I want to go ahead and share this with people. Will you go ahead and allow me to put posters in your store if I allow you to put posters in my store? Once you go ahead and they will agree to do this, if you agree to do that, now suddenly you have co-op advertising. At $200 a month, what you can also do is you can go ahead and do co-op advertising in newspapers, on radio, to go ahead in magazines, to go ahead and have a common event that will benefit people. And instead of having a huge ad that takes up a lot of space, only paid for by you, now you have a huge ad and it's broken out into small little itty-bitty spaces, and these are going to be a lot less than you would pay if you went ahead and bought this all on your own. So once you start having co-op advertising, you can really maximize the value that you get out of your advertising dollar. $300 a month. Now we're starting to talk about, besides doing the other things, now we can start looking at doing some radio advertising. When you're doing radio advertising, I keep on saying, what's in it for them? Why should somebody listen to you? So when you talk on the radio, you want to come across as an expert. If, for instance, you're an expert in sewing machines, in vacuums, in computers, in real estate, you want to go ahead and give more information than you do talk about selling. So whenever you're doing this, you want to do your homework ahead of time. You want to go ahead and, as much as possible, do your research and offer expert advice. If you don't have expert advice, research. If you can't do expert advice, stay off the radio. Hire someone to go ahead and do spots for you. Now, what is the cost of a small 30-second, 60-second ad? It depends upon the radio station.